Hello, 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 filthy animals, back again, after a little bit of an upset stomach. We've got more Division 5's action here. We're on Slutsk something, I forgot already, Slutsk, I believe. We've got WitchDoctor up against ManedWolf. Both of these players are veterans. They've been in the game for quite a while, and usually hanging about in the lower divisions, presumably because they don't play that much, and I think I've got a feeling they might be more sort of 10v10 kind of players. Let's dip into this for some fun. And as we can see, WitchDoctor is on the 21st Panzer, so we might be seeing some KT action coming out here. So if he does open with a KT, he does leave himself very vulnerable. We've all got sort of some seriously big boom guns in here. Seriously big boom. Surprised he's not backing up his KTs with some Marder ones. These are very handy. Very cost efficient for what they do. Everything else looking fairly normal, I gather. Yeah. Bad resilience stuff going on there. It's not bringing the cluster. We've got bad resilience again here. Yeah. Not the best Focke-Wulf tab. Some nice little clown cars. Decent amount of units. There's apps to flesh out at the start. And of course you get the Sherman in here, which is the captured vehicles that do some work. He's not opting for the whatever these are called 35S. I believe this is a French tank, so I hear people saying, but he's just going for Panzer 4s and M4s in phase A, and if he brings out this at the start of the game, it could hurt him, but we shall see. And he's up against ManedWolf, so let's have a quick look see at his deck. Excuse me. And here we are, again, a division that I really do enjoy playing sometimes. It's pretty good. It's a very niche division, I would say. Has some great advantages to it. And it's the South African, the 6th Armoured South African. He's got Fireflies, which I think are pretty highly overpriced. Not particularly good. Not particularly bad, but they do the thing. They've got a 2k range on them. And up against the Koenigs Tigers with some side shots in on these things, then yeah, it does make sense to bring them. Also got the Sherman 2A, which basically is good because of notice the AP range, 1,750 meters, unlike the regular Shermans, which are just all 1,500 meters. So it makes a big difference. It costs 5 points more. Their armor slightly less at the front, and they've got much better penetration. So these are like really nice little tanks. They can do some work. They are phase locked, as you can see though, to be. And he's double vetting these, which, yeah, I do the same thing really. So you get lots of a good range of tanks in your tank tab. No light armor though, just lots of good medium tanks in here. And he's got the Grouse, which also I really adore. These things really nice. Really nice. They're basically mobile artillery units. Got 30 shells on the HE. They've got radio on them as well. Everything has a radio in this division. It's really bizarre. He's not up for the Porty. I guess he's thinking he's not going to be needing it, but I think this is a good little vehicle to rush in at the front, get to the front line, pick off some medium armor here and there. Pretty good. I do enjoy that one. Recon opted for Piats. Yeah, why not? I guess when you got the KT, then yeah, if you can get one of these in there. But he's not up-vetted them, which is a mistake, because it's going to be less than 50% chance to hit, because it's likely to get stressed before it gets anything off. And now the mainstay of this division, he's just opted for the big, heavy AA guns. Again, these are good with AT as well. So could do some work against the Koenigs Tigers. The artillery as well can also do some work against Koenigs Tigers. 140 millimeters, probably not going to be firing at it, but this one, better rate of fire. Might be a decent idea to pepper any big tanks that come out, but other options as well. You've got the Hurricanes to deal with them. These things, they turn really poorly, they're quite slow, but they're pretty sturdy. As long as they're not too much AA up, they can survive. And the Marauder as well, great bomber. Very good heavy bomber. Does the job. Anyway, yeah, that's about that. So let's go and jump straight into the game now. And here we are on the battlefield, and it is Slutsk East. I did just check what it's called. Always get those confused, East and West. As this is Division 5, and I imagine some Division 5 players could be watching this, who are pretty new to the game. So a few little things to point out on this map. This area, big 2k range, heavy armor. From the red side, you often get people trying to rush into this forest and take it early. But if you drop a quick light AT gun here, you can usually stop that, but it can veer off the road and go into here. So this can be an early contended part of the map. Also, these buildings, both trying to rush into around here with a flamer, machine gun, etc. Trying to get the influence over the opponent's flag. Easier for blue to get the influence on the red flag here than it is for red on the blue. Also here, often see machine guns coming into these buildings, and likewise machine guns coming into here and into here. And you also sometimes get a bit of a machine gun exchange over here. From the red side, you can put some support weapons up onto the hill to fire down into here or into here to help out with your machine guns. And also from the blue side, you can pop something into here and lay down support. You fire onto this area too. Again, this can be a fairly key area here, and so can this here at the early game with early exchanges going on. And on the hill, again, this is always a very key point of the map, this hill here. So you can get 2 flags on this side, 2 flags on this side. And usually on blue, if you can rush through here, you can then often push through and get onto this flag quite easily, or then cut off the reinforcement. And likewise, if red gets through into here, they can start laying down pressure, cutting off reinforcement road here and here. So this is really where we see most of the battle going on in this area. But there's usually a single flag exchange over here sometimes. But what can also happen is people can push through hard, like the KT, King Tiger, coming through the left. Again, he could kind of give up this hill and then rush in later on, bring one out over here and start putting pressure back onto this hill whilst dominating the open with another KT over here. Anyway, we shall see what's going to go on. No KT coming out from the start, which is a very wise thing to do. You don't want to be spending that many points early game. ManedWolf. It looks like he's having a machine gun into here and a flamer into here. Or it could be the other way around. Reinforcing through this road. I don't believe that is actually quicker. I think it's quicker to come down this reinforcement road and reinforce into here. Yeah, very light. There's very, very little coming in here. And in slow transports too. Could be a mistake here from WitchDoctor. Decent investment into the town. Pack 38 coming out to cover the road. 6-pounder from his opponent. No serious armor coming out at all as of yet. Just a grouse in the north. An M8 as well. Oh, and a nice mortar half-track. These are very, very useful. Yeah, good. Shoot and move, shoot and move. This is what you should be doing with these things. Firing down here a bit early, but I can understand why in a way. No AT gun on the road here. Again, this would have picked off one of, if not both of these, if we brought it out in time. So ManedWolf has got the advantage in the north here. And we've got ersatz in the centre and flamers here as well. The flamers need to get behind this building here to protect themselves from the ersatz rifles. But yeah, it looks like we've got this funny looking thing. The HE gun is going to pick off the assault pioneers over there. All is quiet elsewhere. I do believe these still come with a radio, even though they shouldn't come with a radio. These mortars. It doesn't say that it has them on the card. If we look at the vehicle, it doesn't say they are on the card, but I am fairly sure if we see some artillery coming out in a moment, you will see that it does have an area of influence. Where is it? Yes, it's still here. As you can see, this circle is not moving with the tank. Or is it? Yes, you can see here, this is the area of influence for... you can't actually tell, it looks like it's the spotters, but this one has a radio too, trust me. Unless they've actually listened to me and changed it. Anyway, not relevant. And this is the use of the M10. can act as an artillery piece and will most likely pin down his ersatz. It's got a decent rate of fire on this as well with the HE, 8 rounds per minute. And these get pinned very easily because they're disheartened. Looks like this support gun is on fire position and there's nothing there. Slight mistake there. Just going to waste all his shells. In the north, ManedWolf has got a really strong force pushing through here, and it looks like he is going to collapse WitchDoctor in the north. There's a pack back here for reinforcement. Well, it's back here to support any transports coming down the road. On the hill, all is quiet. Some shells hitting the ground. There's no gunfire going on. ManedWolf, I guess he suspects he's got a decent amount of units in here, as he's not really run into anything in the north as of yet. And we've got early artillery coming out, 122mm. That's a big investment. 90 points each. They are pretty decent, these things, though. With the radios on as well, and he's making use of the radios. Trying to pick off this 6-pounder. The 6-pounder, if he brings out a KT down this road, 6-pounder can't do anything to it. Where is he going to bring out his KT? This is the big question. They're both unbalanced. He does have one in A, and it would be probably a bit unwise to bring one out in A. But if it's a static game, as it seems to be at the moment, it could be a decent idea to bring one out. Most likely into this area would do the trick. Pick off these expensive AA weapons, push for the flags over here, and just hold the town, hold the forest. It's more artillery. Gone really heavy into the artillery right at the start. It's got the mortar half-track as well up here. Just about running out of shells now. Looks like it's laid down a good bit of pain. Done a decent enough job of pinning some units. Killed an assault pioneer as well by the looks of it. Probably with the help of the infantry. And we've got a Sherman coming in around the back. We should be able to deal with this Greyhound if he gets a drop on it. Very interesting opening here from both players. So nice AA pieces out for ManedWolf. He's got a really solid front line set up, and he's got a single tick on WitchDoctor, so it's all looking pretty good for him at the moment. And the Grouse is on counter battery. Are both of them on counter battery, or just one of them? If he puts these on counter battery, he could pick off the Grouse, but yeah, wisely he's aiming for the big expensive pieces here. Could kill the spotters at the same time here, and a machine gun, and the AA piece. No planes in the air as of yet though, and we see the artillery coming out from ManedWolf now. If he gets a couple of these pieces out on counter battery, could see all this artillery dropping fairly quickly if WitchDoctor isn't quick enough. But he's got shoot and move on with all his artillery. An enjoyer of the artillery. Like I'm saying, this is more like a 10v10 tactic, what we're seeing here. I do have a feeling that he is a 10v10 player. Not entirely sure though. And as we see, the Sherman has picked off the M8 in the north. Looks like for the time being WitchDoctor's happy to just drop this flag and just to keep grinding away with his artillery. And first Spitfire comes out with a bombing run and it's successful. There is no AA out from his opponent at the moment. 122mm looks like it's going to go down, and the Grouse getting some nice hits on it, getting it to fall back, so it should survive actually. Sherman has pushed right far forward here, in dangerous range of the Panzer Faust, but he's got all the support around him, so should be good. 14-10 now, starting to dominate the hill. Assault Pioneers moving through, and they are going to move straight through into this forest. It's going to be really hard for WitchDoctor to get back up onto this hill with his infantry. Probably going to need to start peppering this entire area with his artillery and slowly bringing some reinforcements and push back up onto the hill. It's not made any kind of movement in the town here. But that one, the one recon vehicle that's coming down the road must have got picked off somewhere by something. Is this it over here, I believe? Yes, it is. I imagine the AA piece did get it before. The artillery wasn't successful in taking out the AA. I think it has damaged it a little bit, yes. Knocked 4 hit points off it. Spitfire now prowling the skies. Looks like he's coming in trying to strafe the artillery, but it has moved. And we've got, yeah, 2 artillery pieces. A bit too close together. This is a danger here. You don't want to be doing this. Because you could be hitting both of them with one strike here. These have got a decent rate of fire on them. 5 rounds per minute. 5 rounds per minute with 6.1 damage. Up against 5 rounds per minute with... oh, they're actually identical. I never realised that. 122mm. And they're both pinned. So 122mm coming off trumps here. Again, WitchDoctor looks like he knows what he's doing with his artillery better than I do. The grouse, yeah, very short on the HE now. The one in the north, has it been using its HE so much? Not so much. It's used a fair bit, actually. It looks like he's trying to sneak into here to get off this Sherman. He's not quite sure what's there. 1410 is still on. It's all looking good. Sherman engaging. Doesn't want to be engaging the Pak 43. He's going to get picked off. He don't reverse. He's gone. He's gone. Kaboom. There is another Sherman that's coming to reinforce. Just needs to pop it around this area. Stop any infantry getting into here. Looking pretty good for ManedWolf. In the town, all is still very, very quiet at the moment. Artillery is still on the counter battery. It's likely to pick these off. Spitfire coming in. Not quite sure it's worth it to kill a few troops there. Bombing, you must notice something in here, so bombing here would make sense because you could get this flag. Oh, excuse me. But it's WitchDoctor who's going to have to make the move at some point. He's got plenty of time. It's just a single tick. As long as he keeps it at 1410. This is quite precarious here on the hill. Does need to get some infantry in and around here. Some armour as well. Just to secure, make sure he can hold on to this flag. As you can see, ManedWolf has spotted this and he's making a move. He wants to get this flag. Converted gunners are moving in. The grouse, I believe, was just firing onto this Pak. So he must have spotted that out at some point. ManedWolf definitely losing the artillery fight here. He's brought out another piece, 140mm. This might turn the tide a little bit. If he gets a lucky hit off against this artillery, managed to pick one off, he could be looking quite good. Risky investment, especially now that these guys are kind of out of the action. Looks like one of them's going to go down here. This guy is really, really low. Just 1 hit point left. The other one's okay at the moment. And it's going to be important for the long game. If this does turn out to be a bit of a grind, the artillery is going to come in clutch. Still no movement in the town. This does surprise me. And 59 is on. Still no reinforcements coming into this area from WitchDoctor. I'm not quite sure what he's doing at the moment. It does seem a bit puzzling. Ah, right. I thought just about to say he's probably saving up for something, and there we go. We see Koenigsegger coming in. So he's really going to need to start pushing heavily into the north here and start taking some of these flags, because he's given up the south. Like I was saying before, he can kind of afford to do this in a way, but he don't. With just 10 minutes left, he doesn't want to be on a double tick at the moment. It's going to be a while before he can afford to bring in another KT. Just need some forces into here, some infantry, and an AT gun back here as well. somewhere around this region to stop any tanks peeking out would be a damn good idea. He does have his Pack 43 in here, but it's in a strange position. You can't see anything. Back here would be perfect because it does act very good as a HE weapon as well. 140mm, not quite hitting yet. Looks like he has managed to pin this at least, but not taking any more hit points off it. And where is it actually firing now? Still firing over here as well. Panzer IV is coming around to the southern area on the hill to help out with some Stern Pioneer. This makes sense. Get a Stern Pioneer into here. Still a 59 is on. The KT is out, but he's not doing anything with it. He needs to be coming forward. He needs to be picking off this AA gun and then just driving his KT out as far as possible, because there's got nothing that can really deal with it. Well, this 17 pounder can deal with it at some point. But yeah, 17 pounder up here, you'd have to get a side shot in to the KT, but it'd still be quite tough to do. And now ManedWolf is making an advance in the south in the town. Spitfire coming in, bombing run on the church. Always a good idea, because there's always likely to be something in the church, so yeah, bomb it. Doesn't look like he's recalled it just yet. Oh, he's recalling it now. 8 minutes on the clock to go. WitchDoctor just really needs to make a move. Really needs to make a move. With all these half tracks being used as well, they're very slow reinforcements. He's losing a lot of time here just bringing these in. Opal blitzes are generally key. Connie's Tiger is coming through now. He's just waiting for the SPW for spotting. And I'm going to sneeze. Wahoo! Excuse me. The KT, can he not see that AA gun? Can he not see it? He must be able to see it. Oh, he's not quite in range of it, that's all. And the Connie's Tiger, if I'm correct in my estimation, 180mm frontal armor, and this got 190 pen. It can actually do it. So a bit risky. It's not likely to kill a Connie's Tiger. Or does it have a higher rate of fire? One thing I've never looked at before is a HE on this thing. It's okay. Could do with a support weapon out here as well to back up the Connie's Tiger and pick off these kind of problems he may face. 7 minutes to go. The artillery is being picked off now. Looks like the 140mm has done the job. It's starting to lay down the pain. And WitchDoctor's also using the artillery battle now, which he did invest a lot into as well at the start of the game. The price of these, like all three of them, may as well borrow in a Connie's Tiger in my opinion. Could have started dominating the open and then afforded to bring in another one when he's brought out this one now, and he could have done some work. Could do with one back here, just laying down some fire onto the hill, and one out in the open here, and then just slowly push them forward, inch them forward with his infantry and his ersatz. Assault Pioneers still alive here for ManedWolf. This is a really important thing to do. Put them on return fire, hide them. I usually jump them out of buildings as well and hide them even more behind the building if I can. And now we see Opal Blitz coming in with the ersatz. Just needs to drop it round about here. You can maneuver your infantry around so they can hold onto the flag. This is a bit too far forward. They're likely to get picked off there. Stern Pioneer did get taken down. The half track is still around. But we are at least at a 14:10 now, so it's 12 minutes that WitchDoctor has. And now we see the ersatz coming into the centre. Yep. This is what I expect. I don't know why he's unloading them all the way around here. Just unload them in the open and just start walking them across is the best bet. Connie's Tiger needs to be advancing this further forward. Got 17 pounder on the hill trying to get some side shots in. Nice move here by ManedWolf. Very nice how he's actually managed to get it into this position. Fireflies out here as well. Yeah, if ManedWolf can get this Firefly out into position onto this hill and cover the reinforcement road, it would be nice. But he does know there's a Pack 43 lurking somewhere, but at the moment this Pack 43 is doing absolutely nothing. Got no line of sight. This could be an issue. Oh! Here's that. See, haven't loaded up here. One surrendered, the other's going to get surrendered or pinned. Yeah, so it's not quite worked out there. I think he was just gambling that he didn't have much in these buildings. Maybe just a flamer or something. Half-track driving that forward would help out a bit. We'll be able to pick off the Piats, maybe get some surrenders and driving it forward. Connie's Tiger advancing in the open again. 17 pounders not quite in range of it. Firefly's also laying down fire onto the ersatz here. Spitfire coming in, trying to pin down. Well, actually, he's going to not just pin down, it's going to destroy this MG. No problem whatsoever. SDKFZ, not quite enough there. Oh, and here we've got the Hurricanes coming in. Double Hurricane. It's going to definitely do some damage to this Connie's Tiger. How much damage? A fair bit. Looks a bit battered and bruised. Very vulnerable now. So if this AA piece gets a solid hit onto this and a pen, could take it out. It is possible. I'm sure it does enough damage. Yeah, 9 damage will probably kill it if it gets a pen onto the Connie's Tiger at the moment. So looking very good for ManedWolf. He's back at 15-9. 4 minutes till the victory. And WitchDoctor looks like he's just made the mistake of investing heavily into the artillery. And it's just, he's been playing for the long game, but he's not been able to hold on for long enough. Not been able to secure the 12-12 at all. Flak 41 coming out now. Yeah, the SDKFZ wasn't in a position to repel all of that air that was coming in from ManedWolf. Yeah, 6 South African has really good air, good range of medium tanks, like I said, and decent artillery. The thing with the artillery is, like, with these things, the price of these, I think they are around about the same, 90 points. These things are 80 points, and they're basically the same. Plus, you get more on a card. You get 3 of these in A, which is really good. So the availability is good. They're on a budget as well. Pretty cheap for what they are. So it's more about the numbers. It's got all this armor here. There's just no infantry. WitchDoctor could possibly sweep through this area. Has he got, are these autocannons or is an AP? This could do some damage. Maybe not, maybe not. Yeah, he would struggle to sit down a Sherman with just these, to be honest. But he really needs to get onto this hill. Looks like time has just about run out for him now. He might possibly get back this flag, but it's not enough. He's not going to stabilise. Oh, and in the north, just missed it. The Spitfire and the Marauder combo has managed to take out the KT. Just overwhelmed the AA. Or the AA piece, the SDKZ has been taken out. Not quite sure by what. Probably the Firefly, maybe the 17 pounder. Yeah, now he's bringing in more arms. I think it's just a lack of infantry. If he brought in more infantry here much earlier and got a presence back onto this hill, he could be at a point now where he's be stabilising for the 12-12. He's 13-11 now. He's got this flag back. His KT's gone down. He's lost lots of points. He's managed to sneak this flag, but that's going down again any second now. But very well played by ManedWolf. Got a dominating presence in the north here. Held onto this flag. Kept that advantage. Kept the tick on his opponent. Then managed to push on the hill as well and secure that area. And from there it looked like WitchDoctor just made a few wrong choices. He was bringing in the armour and not bringing in the infantry to reinforce. Now he's advancing in the town. As I say, if your opponent's pushing you in this position, then try and push here like he did before. And try and push here, which he's just doing now. It's a little bit late. Piat's probably going to take this thing out. Yep. Yeah, 66% at 1 star, roughly speaking, of hitting. when they're not stressed. So yeah, always put your Piat infantry at 1 star if you can. Or just always put them at 1 star. Yeah, the 50-50 chance on the Piat's not particularly good. Because you get stressed, it's nearly always going to be less than 50% chance of hitting. And 22 minutes, dominating performance there from ManedWolf. Out-traded WitchDoctor 2. He invested in a lot of expensive artillery, expensive armour. Just didn't back it up with the infantry there. Yeah, early trades were looking alright across the board. Kind of even amount of units going down to either side there. But ManedWolf, yeah, once we got into B phase, looks like he starts pressing down his presence there a bit. I think it's, oh, here we go. You can see a lot of kills coming in together here. Just managing to push through at the right moments and put the nail in the coffin there. Yeah, I think most of the losses, to be fair to, yeah, this looks worse than it actually was. To be fair to WitchDoctor, he just, his desperate pushes which lost him a lot of these points at the end. Probably 700 of these points just went down because he was just pushing to get the flags. Alright, good game. I will see you for game 2, which looks like another pretty tasty matchup. So catch you later.